this beat. Okay, y'all ready? Let's get it together. This is our time. Yes! All right now. Yes!
The love and lips show, the true, the real, the sort of how you feel.
All right.
The love and lips show, the true, the real, the sort of how you
Okay.
feel.
Come to me for advice about your family and friends, to your husband and your wife. I can tell you about mine and what's been applied. So stay tuned and buckle in for the ride. My past experience are for your ears to hear. I'll tell you tales from my past year. May do a review on some beauty products. You can catch me on the stream when the grease is popping.
The love and lips show, the true, the real, the sort of how you feel.
Okay.
The love and lips show, the true, the real, the sort of how
Here
you
we
feel.
go. When the road is bumpy and everything is shaky, gotta live and love and show it on the daily. You do your thing and I'll do mine. No judgment here, there's only love on my mind. It's not always right, some things are not easy. We can toss and turn until we make it easy. Keep a smile on your face and encourage one another. We only live one life, so we gotta love each other.
The love and lips show, the true, the real, the sort of how you feel.
Oh yeah.
The love and lips show, the true, the real, the sort of how you feel.
The lesson we learn won't stop or block us. We're all on the path, so let's get to walking. Live and love each day as your last. It's funny how time can flash. This is your life, so you better live it. If you really want something, work hard to get it. Join me on my journey and watch the show. We'll do it one more time, but by now you should know.
The love and lips show, the true, the real, the sort of how you feel.
Yeah.
The love and lips show, the true, the real, the sort of how you feel.
Okay, okay.
The love and lips show, the true, the real, the sort of how you feel.
That's right, girl.
The love and lips show, the true, the real, the sort of how you feel.
We out.
Yo. L&L. L&L. Woo. 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 Never Neil Show. It's hot. 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 Taste it hot. I'm ready. Never Live. Let's go. Never Live Show. Motivation speakers. Positive affirmations. Tune in every week. We need a Monday family meeting. Elijah always cheating. Relationship advice on Wednesday so you don't go creeping. Thursday game time. Come in and unwind. Friday night shout out time. Creators grind and shine. Pop up at the pop up. Shop up at the shop up. Get your bomb.com seasons for your poplar. Tropical morning. For your royalty. Love and live empire. Bringing all the heat. It's time to turn up. It's time to turn up. You wanna taste that heat? Try to taste the heat. Hot sauce, that sweet heat is banging like this beat. Chocolate burning, little mild watermelon. Heat. Dynamite's the truth. Have you
Bigger nephew, Lenora. She know it's the truth.
Chris? Everybody love Chris. Love it,
It's the love and live show. It's the love and live show.
Love and live.
It's the love and live
We be laughing, having fun.
Get up, please stay up and live. Get up, please stay up and live.
Love and live each day as if it was your last.
The love and live show. The love and live show. Love and live.
Yep.
Visit Love and Live Shots.com.
Baby, this is our night alone. No kids, nobody, just us. We're gonna do some amazing things and explore each other. We're gonna do new things that nobody expected. Chicken wings.
All right. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Wow.
Let's see. There you go. Hey, how's everybody doing today? It's a Love and Liz show. We coming in. We doing it's not relationship advice. It's title, whatever, in progress. We're working on whatever the new title is. But in essence, it's still the segment that we usually do, relationship advice.
Yes.
And so with that being said, you guys already know every Wednesday we get into different relationship topics and discuss them. And today is no different.
Exactly.
So how you feeling today, Queen Lenore?
I'm feeling good, y'all. I'm feeling good, enjoying myself and everything. We are excited. I did this new ponytail to make my life easier when I went to acupuncture. But yeah, it's been a rough day today, but we did it. Woo, 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 woo.
All right, well, we got to welcome somebody in. We got Life with Aaliyah. We got Life with Aaliyah. She said, hey, I subscribe. So every time y'all go on live or make a video, it notifies me and I have to join.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my goddaughter right there. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, girl. Yes.
Right, so as you can see,
we are on later than normal too, y'all.
Yeah, we are on. This is a whole
way
hour
later than normal. So
later.
We was trying to just start coming on at 3, and it just came a whole extra hour in there.
Yes, but with that being said, we still gonna go ahead and try to get through everything and have some good discussions today.
Okay.
So the title and the thumbnail, Queen Lenore Never Sees. Today is no different, but she can kind of see the title today because we're on StreamYard format. So as you can see it right there, it says ex-wife is dating my baby mama. Am I in trouble?
Ex-wife is dating my baby mama.
Yeah.
Ex-wife.
Yeah, his ex-wife is dating his baby mama.
I got to get it in my head.
Yeah, you got to think about it. Let that shit in.
Is dating my baby mama. Wait a minute. Ex-wife.
Yeah, ex-wife.
Is dating my baby mama. Yeah. Okay, I got it. It took me a minute. Yep. Took me a minute to get that one.
So
that's a new one, y'all. That's a new one. I don't know. I know we're not doing that one first, but it gives me something to think about for a while.
Yes, and so we had a lot of detail over here, but the ex-wife is dating the baby mama, and he wants to know, is he in trouble? That's what he wants to know. You think in a situation like that could be troublesome for this guy in this situation?
Well, apparently.
Just think about it for a minute.
Let's go to another one. Let me get some time to think. Like, let me get some time to process that conversation in my head.
Yeah.
Because that conversation is going to is that our first question?
No, it's not our first question.
It's
just something for you to marinate on because you got to think about it.
I don't want to marinate no more.
Because he's even asking the question. He said, okay, it's a situation. My ex-wife is dating my baby mama, but am I in trouble? All right, and he got some other details.
Well, we're not going to talk about it right now. Why are you staying on
I'm just saying because, he's getting you some stuff to marinate on. But
I don't want to marinate.
Stepping with this next situation.
Okay.
We got,
these questions is a little hard.
We got this one. This one is a little bit more on the difficult side here.
Okay.
All right, so.
I can do difficult.
And Queen Lenore, you really got to give your point of view on this because, you can speak. You are a parent and you have been a parent, so you know what that dynamic is like.
Okay.
So we got this situation here where we got a married couple and they are having an issue. Okay, because the father in this situation has had something happen between, their whole family dynamic, and he's upset and he's kind of just like at a moment where he wants to be a little bit more proactive in the area, but he feels like he can't. So all that to say, he has a son that's, getting ready to hop out of high school, getting ready for this new chapter in life, stepping into adulthood or stepping into further education, whatever it may be. And he's just been acting up. Like, really, that's just no way that you can put it. He's just been acting up. He's been doing a whole lot. And so the father, he's still a child right now. He's still under my household. He decided to put on some disciplinary measures, right? Well, behind his back, his wife was easing up on a lot of this stuff. and he ended up getting real upset. And right now he's just at a point it's like, forget it. You just gonna let him do whatever he wants to do. Like, forget it. I just hands off this situation. If you do anything, don't come hollering at me because I try to do what I'm supposed to do as my role. But here you are acting up and getting in between it. So they had a whole big blowout and everything like that. And so now she's on here asking, what can she do to help mend this situation? She done already got in the fray and kind of messed everything up. But she wants to know what's some ways that she can now, fix this situation. Because he's still spiraling out of control. He's still not acting up. And when, he had that disciplinary measure, he was doing a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So what would you say? And of course, this has now affected, of course, the child because he's doing whatever he wants. But also their relationship because he feel like, she went behind his back with it. So what do you feel about this, Queen Lenora?
How to fix it?
Yeah, how to fix it. What's the solution?
Well, the first thing you need to do is apologize to your husband. That's just the first thing. You never undermine your husband in front of the kids, period. And if he set a rule, even if you don't agree with it, you tell your husband, I don't agree with it, and then have him go and change it where it's on him to have that discussion and change it. But you never undermine him, period. That you shouldn't do that as a parent on both sides. The wife should not undermine the husband should not undermine the wife. That's just where it should go. So the first thing you need to do is apologize, and you need to work out a plan on disciplinary action that you and your husband could agree on and go further on with that. But right now, your husband's hands off, so he's done. He like, I tried, and you keep messing around. I'm done. And now you want help because the child is going out of style, out being wild and crazy, and you can't control it. And now you want him to step in, and he don't want to. So the apology is not going to be easy because you already kept messing up when it came to him doing the disciplinary action. And I don't know why women do it. I see women do it more than I see men do it, but I've seen men do it too. I don't know why women feel like they need to undermine their husband or, when they're disciplining the kids. You don't have to agree with the disciplinary actions, but you do not undermine them in front of the kids. And my thing is, that's something you should be talking about even before you have kids. And I know nobody plans on it, but that's part of dating conversation 101. Let's talk about it before we have children to get, so we could be kind of on the same page. But you believing that you don't have to discipline your child, and now he's acting buck wild. Now you want the husband to come in, but he already did his job and you messed up. So that one's going to take a while. It's not going to be, it might be an easy apology, but 9 out of 10, it's not going to be an easy apology. He's not going to just go, oh, okay, and I'm just going to jump back in it. You have to really apologize. You're going to really state your case and let him, think it over, mull it over, what he want to do, because literally you ruined something that was already in progress that was going to help significantly a lot, but you chose to undermine, and there's nothing you can do about it. And and I'm gonna just say this, ladies, especially if you with your baby daddy or your husband, the father of the child, he has just as much right over that child as you do, and for you to feel like he doesn't is what is causing issues in that child's life anyway. So my thing is, stop. Don't do that, period. And men, if you're doing it, don't undermine the wife. You don't have to agree with the disciplinary action that they're giving. All you have to do is say, hey, let's go talk about this, and then let that person change it, not you come in and change it, because then they're going to play one against the other. And that's what children are going to do. They're going to play one against the other because they ain't thinking nothing about it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we got to welcome somebody in. As Queen Nora was just spitting a life lesson, we got to go ahead and welcome in Lynn's Life Lessons.
Hey, Lynn, how you doing?
Lynn's Life Lessons is in the building saying hello, host, and everyone in the
hello.
What's going on, Lynn? How you doing today?
Yes.
Welcome in. And so, with that being said, I feel like what you said is really good, because on like a parental role, you do want that front of unity, at least, even if you guys are disagreeing. You guys have to be as one in this authority, whatever it is, and whatever way that it is. If we got a rule, we have to follow that rule. We got to step into that rule, and it has to just be an agreement. And once things are disagreed upon, the last thing you do want, especially when you got somebody who is spiraling out and acting out, like, you know, you could say in some cases, oh, you know, but you know this kid for sure is gonna play.
Exactly.
You don't want to do this situation where you know, oh, mom will let me, you know, get away with it, but dad won't, and then now he got all this anger towards his father when he really shouldn't. You know, his father's just trying to be a good, proactive spot in his life, but you got it to where now he's like demonized, or he's the villain, and you're the superhero saving the day. So
yeah,
it just messes a lot of the healthy dynamics up by, you know, stepping in with that position. And then on top of that, now you have this ripple between you guys because you floated away from, you know, the unity that you guys had. And so now you're sitting here, how do you fix everything and pick up the pieces? Well, it kind of starts on reflecting on the whole situation and really understanding some of the damage that's been done. Because really, when you see it, I mean, you can kind of see how it's all happened over time, or what the gravity of the situation is, and what you got to do. Because there might be some extra stuff that we can't even necessarily speak on, because this could have been happening from even before the child was even born. So I just think that it is something that you definitely got to really put the effort into if you really want to repair. Put your thoughts and your cares into it, and really just try to manifest whatever's the best for the situation. But Queen Lenore gave some really good stuff on really how you want to at least tackle it and like really jump towards it, and like giving you a good starting point, because the best thing you can really do is just actually act upon it. Like, all right, you see that you're wrong, acknowledge that you're wrong, and apologize for the situation. But also, like, there's a lot of hurt and stuff and pain and emotions with that. So you got to make sure that you tackling that part of it as well. And, you know, even though he might be a man or your husband or whatever, you might not be emotional showing or whatever it may be, there's still a lot of, you know, that would really hurt. You know, you got who's supposed to be a partner going behind your back and doing something like that. Yeah. So you really just want to be thoughtful on all fronts of the whole thing. And
I agree.
Yeah, I think that kind of covered that subject. But for the next one, okay, Queen Lenore, you got to let me know how you feeling about this one too. Because, I mean, you know, this one right here, this is the lady coming in with this one. And so you got to put yourself in this situation, because I want to know what Queen Lenore got to say for this one. Okay. I already, you know, I can tell this one's going to probably light you up a little bit. So we got this situation. So we have like a healthy dynamic between this couple. Is they live together, and they, you know, they have that situation kind of down. Like, all right, you got this chore, I got this chore. I need you to do this. You got to do this. You come at work, you leave work this time. We working in a real good, productive way. So they got a good pattern in life on how they're moving right now. They know each other's schedules. They know their duties. Everything is good, right? Well, she got injured. All right, she broke her foot. And so she's now bedridden for whatever time, you know, until she's recovering. He got to kind of pick up the slack, you know, because she's not able to do as much because, well, her leg is restricting her, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's certain areas that, you know, she is used to doing and stuff like that, and it just can't be done.
Okay.
And so now that it can't be done, she's realizing, oh, this stuff is kind of stacking up. The areas, he still do his little areas, but my areas is now being neglected and everything, and I can't get to it the way I need to. And so they kind of, that's been building up slowly. Of course, you know, you don't just see it. It's not a mountain. It starts off as a molehill, so it's slowly been building up. And on top of that, she confronts him about it and said, "Oh, you know, I know you see that I can't really do everything. Like, you know, we kind of already know what's going on with my leg and everything like that. So can you, like, why are you not doing this part? Or why are you not doing this?" She just asked him about it. And when she started asking him about it, well, he blows up. He gets upset, and he's like, you know, he's just real upset about the situation. Like, you serious? You know, I got a lot of stuff going on. You know, I still got to work and all this different stuff. And so from this point, she wants to know, is she the one in the wrong for bringing it up? Like, is she wrong for saying that, okay, I got this thing going on with my leg, I need you to pick up the slack? Is that a wrong way to say it, or did she say it the right way, wrong way? Like, is she in the wrong for her approach? Because, you know, from her approach, he decided to get upset. So what's the situation on that? But we got to welcome somebody in. All right. So we got to welcome in
Trap Vision 3D.
Trap Vision in the
Hey,
building.
Trap, how you
Trap saying,
doing?
yo, what's
Woo.
good with it, Trap?
Hey,
You
how
said
you
what
doing?
it do. You already
What
know
it
Trap is
do?
in the house.
Yes.
You got to go get your watch info over there with Trap Vision.
Yes.
He gonna tell you all about it, all right? But how you feeling about that conversation there, Queen Nora? All in all, the lady broke her leg. She got her partner. He's not doing her part of whatever keeps the household going. She asked him about it. He gets offended, and he's actually a little upset, and he kind of comes back at her, snapping back at her. And, you know, they're having a big blowout. They ain't talking right now, so she got some time to type this up. And she's asking, was she in the wrong for this whole situation? All right. And Trap Vision said there's a fine line in respect and disrespect.
Yeah, it is. It's all. A lot of times I tell people it goes into the tone, how you bring the conversation up. But if you're just saying it as how we're listening to it now, no, you didn't do anything wrong. But again, I don't know if you did it with an attitude. I don't know if you did it with the rolling of the eyes, the snapping of the head.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how it went.
We don't see the full.
I don't know how. Yeah, but by you just typing it in, I'm gonna just say literally, hey, you had every right to ask. Like, you see the stuff done. I'm that way. If you see it and you know that's what I used to do, and I can't do it no more, why can't you jump in and do it?
Yeah.
And I think everybody want to hold somebody all these different ways of accountability to stuff. But then it's like when something needs to be done, it's not done.
Yeah.
And then the person that normally does it, that's who we're looking at. And it's like, it takes more than one person to run a house. It takes more than one person to do a lot of stuff. So why are we just focusing on me? Like, I can't do it. I got one leg. I'm down for the count. Why you can't do whatever it is? Because I don't know what it is, but why can't you do whatever it is?
Yeah, let's say for this example, it might be the dishes or mopping or whatever it may be. It's just like stuff around the house.
Yeah, if you can't do the dishes, then then don't eat. Like, I mean, I just make it simple and easy. Like, you don't realize how much somebody does until they can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But you can't get mad because they're saying, why aren't you doing it? Like, see, I'm here with a broken leg. You know what I'm going through. You can't pitch in and don't tell me about, because you're working and you doing this and you doing that. Because most likely she's working and she's doing this and she's doing that, but still got to maintain and make sure the house is where it needs to be as well.
Exactly.
Just like if you are the person that's doing, I don't know, you take out the trash, you paint, you fix the doors. Somebody come in and you broken down, you like, you can't, get a little paintbrush and paint the house. You can't, bag up the garbage and take it out. Like, it's the same analogy in opposite positions. Like you know what I mean? So that's just what I feel. I feel like, if you didn't say anything, it was just gonna bottle up, and then that's gonna, bring issues
gonna blow up
into the relationship. So you might as well lay him act the fool and then go like this, but I still need you to get this stuff done. So let him do whatever he's doing. If he's yelling and screaming and hollering, let him do what he's doing. But at the end of the day, you still like, but we still need the stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot for this household to run.
Definitely. Well, we got to get into it with the chat right here because we got some people saying stuff. Trap Vision, he said, okay, this sounds like the communication needs to be repaired. That's what he's saying. He's saying with this whole situation.
Yes.
We got to get well, mind, body, and soul. We've got Wellness with Frugal Mama.
Hey, Wellness.
How you doing, Wellness? What's going on?
Yeah.
And Trap Vision, he says, okay, wait, this isn't just that one situation. Sounds like a record of wrongs have accumulated, and now it's a whole blow-up session.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you.
And that's what he feels from this
I'm gonna have to
situation.
agree. It's like we building up, and I say that too. If you let the stuff build up, and then it explodes, it's way worse than if you just say it when it happens. When somebody don't want nobody to just come up here and give them a whole bunch of lists of things that they don't like. You can do one or two, give it a break,
Mm-hmm.
Give a whole bunch of positives, come back 2 or 3 days later, give them the other two. Give it a break and come back later. And don't just give them all 10 or 20 issues that they do wrong all at once because it's too much. And then they feel less than, they feel weak, they feel like they're not accomplishing the goals that they need to accomplish.
Well, we got to welcome somebody in. We got
Orangeburg 420. But orange 420. But orange.
All right. Wellness and Fruit Ball said, hey.
Hey.
So, yeah, getting into that whole situation again for everybody just coming in. We got a couple right here. They're having some tension because the lady in this situation, she broke her leg and she can't do the stuff around the house like she used to do. And he's doing his portion of whatever he got to do. But there's her stuff that's stacking up. And here he is, not necessarily handling it the way it needs to be handled. She comes and confronts him about it. It's like, all right, I know you see me. I got my leg with this going on. Why are you not stepping in and doing what you need to do? He actually got a little bit upset about her approach or whatever it may be. And he kind of clapped back at her. And they had this big little blow up. And here we are now. She's saying she in the wrong for how she handled this situation.
Yeah.
So I would say, again, we don't necessarily know everything that was said because even if she did write everything and there was a whole transcript, the way we communicate is not just through words. It's also through tonalities. It's also through, movements, the way the body's parts are going, your eye twitch, whatever. There's a lot more that we can read into it. You could say it so many different ways, or you can say these same words in so many different ways. And, it can be taken a certain type of way. So whatever it is, apparently he's taking this a type of way. And I'm going to say, again, you're not necessarily wrong for addressing the situation. That's where you wouldn't be wrong at all. But sometimes we do miss the approach. You can be perfectly in the right, but the way that you execute the approach just puts you in a wrong position. Because, now you are blowing up, or like Queen Lenore saying, tearing down. You don't want to come at this because it's not going to be productive. If you're just coming at here and just saying so many different things, well, now he's like, oh, dang.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Now you got him in a daze. When you could have just had him with you could have had him with a simple sentence, and he would have been, oh, I understand. Let me just handle this. Or, I don't want to, but, I'm going to still get to it. Whatever y'all dynamic is, it would have played out the way it need to. And he would at least have the understanding where you come from. Okay, you got your leg. That's perfectly right. Everything adds up in this situation. So, it's not necessarily probably what you're saying, it's how you're saying it, I feel. And, with that situation, even with that, you still gotta say something because something got to give. Even if he is having his little attitude right now, when y'all come back to this, the stuff still got to be done. Otherwise, say the trash is the job, then the trash is going to stack up. Say that this is the job, this is going to pile up. Oh, now you got laundry's the job. Now you ain't got no clothes. So whatever it is, it still has to be handled. We can put a pause on it now, but it still is going to be confronted in some type of way. And so really, when it comes to this whole situation, all right, let's say we're getting back and we put a resume on it. Hopefully he's coming with the right attitude. And you can say, all right, well, I wasn't really trying to come at you any type of way with what I was saying. And really, especially if you really feel that way, you could really say that. I don't know if you
might not really feel that way.
Felt that way, but if you really feel like that's the way you were coming off and it was wrong, then explain that and explain really why you want what you want and why you're saying this, because it all adds up. Again, you got a leg issue. You can't do too much when your body parts is down. You just can't, so you can't be in the same groove when you got an injury going on. So it's just explain it and come with a better sense of communication. Trap says sometimes one person in a relationship has to cover the other. Relationships are not 50-50. It's 100. And when one can't give that 100, that loved one shouldn't just keep the household on task. Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. I hate when I hear people tell me relationships are 50-50. It's 50-50. There's no such thing as 50-50 in a relationship, because wherever you're weak at, the other person's strong. Wherever you're strong at, the other person might be weak. I mean, it just goes back and forth in that thing. And I think once you learn that and get that concept, that there's some things you might be doing more of, on the outskirts where the other person might be doing more on the inskirt. You don't know.
Yeah.
But as long as you're giving your best to each other, that's a win-win situation. And you got to give your best 100% for that win-win situation. But a lot of time people want somebody to give, but they don't want to have to give. They want to take. They don't want to have to give. And you have to, in this relationship, you don't have to give. And it's a give and take. Either I might give in doing the cleaning, and you might give in paying all the bills.
Exactly.
I might give in I give you daily massages.
Yeah.
And you might give by making sure I have bath water run every night for me.
It's
with
different
my
things.
oils. I mean, it's always something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's, as long as you're giving 100% of who you are to the other person, that's what's that's what is important to the relationship. And sometimes you got to hear things you don't want to hear, and you have to be able to accept it and deal with it, and try to understand it. And there's a lot of times it is hard for us to understand when you're thinking about all the stuff that you do. And sometimes you got to take that out of your mind and say, what is the things I need to do to keep it running? Because you got to understand, and I say this all the time, if you live on your own and you didn't have your husband or your wife, your roommates, or somebody didn't come live with you, however the case may be, if you live on your own, you're doing it all anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So don't act like it's a big deal now that, somebody's down for the count, like, oh my God, you're going to have to do it anyway if you lived on your own compared to if you don't. So right now you don't. She just got her leg broken. Help out.
I mean, and really when you look at the whole situation, again, on the guy's perspective with this, what can she do? Like,
listen to him, let him fuss.
No, I'm saying on the dude coming at it in the dude's perspective, like with this whole situation, he's blowing up over the leg thing, right? But in reality, she probably don't even feel good being in this position. Nobody wants to feel like they're unable to do something. Yeah. So even her coming and asking you doing this might not be something she necessarily even wants to do, but it has to be done. So I think, you got to be mindful in general when it comes to a relationship and think about where people are coming from. I mean, not everybody just wants to jump. Some people is prideful. She could be like really take pride of, I always handle this. This is my job. I always got it tied down. Yeah. But now she can't do that. And so, there is different stuff that comes off. She might not necessarily be upset at you, but upset at the situation. And this could be taken a whole different way. So just be mindful. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, they lose that aspect when they are at odds with each other. But you got to really think, this is a whole nother person. This is somebody with feelings, emotions too. You got to think on a greater level than just A and B happens. It's not always just like that. But we got to welcome some folks into the chat. We got Events Yours. Events Yours in the building. Saying, hey, Lenora and Elijah, what's going on?
How are you?
How you doing? We also got to welcome in Tay Eats. Tay Eats doing the mukbang kind of thing. She said, hey, Love and Live.
Hey, sis, how you doing?
What's going on, Tay? How you doing today? Our Events Yours said, what's up to all the YouTube fam in the chat?
Yeah.
Our Trap, he said, I try not to take sides in any of these type of situations, but I've seen it all. It comes a slippery slope. All right, when two people fail to continue on working on a healthy compromise.
That's a good one. I like that. A healthy compromise.
Yeah.
Because that is where it is. And I think it takes a lot of effort and energy. And you have to then reflect on yourself as well. Because a lot of times we just want everything our way. But everybody ain't us. I hate I do it this way. Well, I'm not you. So you do it that way. I don't do it this way. And just to know that there's this a term that just to me binds it all together as a healthy compromise.
Yeah, definitely.
It is. There's some things that I just have to compromise. There's some things Chris just has to compromise. Even as a business partner, I have to compromise. He has to compromise. It is what it is. It's a healthy compromise, and I like that.
Well, Ventura said, just getting in from work. Hope you get settled in
and
enjoying yourself.
Girl, yes.
But if you did miss it, right now we're talking about a situation where this couple right here, woman in this relationship, she got injured. Her leg is down. She can't do what she want to do. And the guy, he's doing his portion. He's not taking on her portion. And she kind of like, all right, what's going on? What's the problem today? And so now she confronted him about it. He got upset and they had a little blowout. And she wants to know if she's in the wrong for feeling this type of way or expressing this to him. And so that's what the discussion has been about. And we so far are saying, there is some stuff that could have been going on. There's communication you got to look at, how things was said, how things was done, even some stuff that might have happened even prior to the situation. Mm-hmm. And then you also got to look at, all right, regardless of anything, this does have to get done. And, this is for the household to continue moving. It shouldn't all just be on one person. We had a conversation where it's like, it's always 100 in a relationship. It's never 50-50. A lot of people think, all right, you give half, I'm going to give half. It's not necessarily that. You got to give all in different aspects. You never know where your percentage is going to lie. But moving on with the topic.
Yeah, another topic.
Yeah, we got to get into this title. This title is why we're really
okay. We're getting into the title, y'all. Okay. Y'all ready for this title? Because I wasn't. All so let's go. Woo.
Okay, so this is a crazy situation. I'm telling you, it's truly a crazy situation.
It feels like a crazy situation.
So this dude, right, he has an ex-wife, and so they just didn't end up panning out too well. She was just not good for her.
That's what usually ex-wife is.
Yeah, she did. She was on his side of things. This is what he's coming to. She played a lot of like mind games with him, was very manipulative and stuff like that. And he just was, they just grew distance and they just had to leave each other alone. He picked up his life with this another lady. They had 2 kids and everything is fine and dandy. All right. But then they started having relationship issues in itself and they start to slowly drift apart as well. And so, right now they got this kind of custody going on where they're trying to figure out where things are lying with the kids and everything like that. And his ex-wife, right, she was never able to have kids. So that's one thing that she always wanted, but she couldn't bear her own children. So that's what she always looked forward to. Well, somehow, I don't know how they came together, but the ex-wife and his baby mama got together. All right. And now this is actually not working in his favor. And this is why he's asking, is he in trouble? Because now they're in a point where they're now attacking him on a custody standpoint and trying to really take over and get full rights over the children. And he's not going to be able to see his kids. So he wants to know, what's going on with this situation. Like, is he in trouble? That's what his question is. Like, looking at this whole situation, you got ex-wife. Of course, she's got a lot of different things to say about him. And then now, these are both people he has a history with. So if they put their history together on top of the fact that now they just straight enemies, how can this work out? Is he in trouble? What do you recommend for him in this situation?
Well, any custody battle issue, you need a lawyer who's going to fight for you. And not a lawyer that's scared to fight. You need one that will fight. Like, because you're going to spend a lot of money on a lawyer, period. I'm just going to tell you. There's no way you're going to get custody battle lawyer and it's going to be cheap. But you need to have one that's going to be there fighting for you. What?
No, he's going to have to fight. This lawyer here is fighting for his life.
Like, you got to get one that's just go, because what most people do is look at a case and go, oh, okay, it looks like I could win. Yeah. Oh, well, this person's saying this and this and this, I can't win. You need somebody who don't care what is coming at them that's just going to fight. Yeah. And I realize listening and talking to people who get lawyers, these lawyers don't want to work. They want the money that you're giving them, but they ain't trying to do the work. They lazy.
Yeah.
Okay, they lazy lawyers.
Well, they're looking at
and
it,
you don't
like,
want lazy lawyers.
Put that much work in. I could just win this case.
Yeah, but my thing is, when you dealing with a dad, you gotta put some work in.
Yeah,
there's no way in and out of this conversation. Now, what I'm saying to you is, you can't worry about what ex-wife gonna say to baby mama gonna say. That's not something you can. All you want to do is stay facts of what you can do. which you can provide for, and why you need custody. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter if you got the ex-wife, the wife, the baby mama, the so-and-so,
Yeah.
the cousin, the mama, the grandma. They don't really care because they really only want to see the mother and the daddy and see what the role is. Why can't he have rights? How is he a danger to the kids?
Yeah.
That's all they care about. They don't care about how you the danger to the ex-wife, how you the danger to the baby mama. They really just want to know how are you with your children.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people lose sight of that and look at everything else, including the dang lawyers. I'm just letting you know. Then just stating the facts of you're a great dad, you provide, you're doing what you need to do, you want your visitations, you want this. And I don't care what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They can do what they want to do. They can be lovers, secret lovers. You don't care.
Yeah.
All I care about is that my kids are happy and they are being maintained. I want to be participating in their school. I want to be participating in all the activity. These are the days I want with my kids. And these are the vacation times I want with my kids. This is what I want with my children, point blank. Have all that written down. Have that. And don't move from it. I don't care what your attorney says. Do not move from the list that you run. Long as it's a reasonable list, do not move from it. Now, if you being vindictive, if you being silly, if you being like you being petty, okay, you might have some issues there. I'm just gonna be honest. You're gonna have some issues. But in reality, it is just be straightforward what you want with your kids. Have that written down. Like right now, while you listening, write down what you want. What visitations do you want to see your babies every weekend, every other weekend? Do you want to see them in the middle of the week? A school that's going to meet in between y'all house, so it won't disrupt them when they stay in this amount of time at your house. And this amount of time, what days in the summer do you want? Do you want to have 2 weeks in each month?
Yep.
Then get 2 weeks of each month of the summer. Like everybody has their thing, or you get a half of the summer and she gets half of the summer. I don't care how y'all want to do it. However you want. But make it, even if things change, it's still benefiting what's in your notes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so I'm not going to get half, but now I'm getting 2 weeks every month. Then that's cool.
Yeah.
Because you're still getting half. It's just broken up into a half situation. That's all I can say. Like, you are worried about the drama that it sounds like. And it is drama. And it would scare the mess out of me too.
Yeah.
I don't want you to think that it wouldn't scare me. It would, my your ex-wife getting with your baby mama, and now they a couple scheming to get the kids.
Yeah, boy, and it's more than just that too. I mean, when he gets, we gotta look on the in the chat. Trap Vision, he said, on a side note, I would love to see both of you with your own PBS special for the youth. You two are so dope.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Trap. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Said, that's just crazy. All right, Trap said he's in big trouble.
Yeah.
Trap said, I recommend that he bend those knees and pray to the Lord for direction.
Exactly. That's a number one prayer. That's the first thing you do.
Trap said, man, this story is crazy.
Isn't it?
Detroit said, exactly, Trap. I tell you, she said, my bad, got a call. I'm back now. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
But with this whole situation, of course, digging into it now, he feels, again, he was manipulated in a relationship. And he feels like, he was really kind of gullible or, receptive to the manipulation. Like he fell for it,
Fell for what?
For manipulation. Like he was easily manipulated.
From who?
From his ex-wife.
Oh, that's over with. You know how to baby mama and all that.
But his baby mama, he feels like she's kind of in that same area where she could easily be taken advantage of, and
that ain't your concern.
But this is what he's expressed.
But I'm just saying, I'm ending that conversation. That's not your concern.
None of that matters.
Your concern is getting custody of your kids, being able to see your kids, spend time with your kids. That is what your concern is.
Saying for him,
all the manipulation of everything else. If you know that she's manipulative and you know how she manipulates, then you just make sure you don't get manipulated.
Yeah.
You don't worry about her getting manipulated. You worry about you getting manipulated. Your concern ain't about the baby mama getting manipulated. It's about you getting manipulated.
Yeah.
That's all you worry about is like, what can you do? Now, she can get this lady all riled up and all that. But at the end of the day, and I tell this to people all the time, because, I raised my kids. and I've been married the whole time I raised my kids. So I was not by myself, okay? And even being married with my kids and not raising them as a single parent, best believe I've sometimes felt like a single mom, especially when Chris was working 12-hour shifts and he was doing overtime. I just felt like a single mom sometimes, okay? That's just what it is. Was I? No, I wasn't. So I'm not going to put light on it on the single mothers that's out there that has worked their butts off. But what I'm saying is, to this point, is we all need breaks. There's not a mother in sight that don't need a break.
Yeah.
Her fighting you over custody is messing her own self up. Because she's going to need some breaks. It's fine and dandy. And right now her high is up because I'm trying to keep the baby from you. So I'm not realizing it. But when she get those days off and she ain't got to worry about the kids for them days off, boy, pretty soon you'll be like, this is my weekend. How did I get these extra weekends? Like, how did I get these extra days? Because she's going to enjoy them days off. That's just what it is. But right now, her adrenaline is high. She's feeling good about torturing you and taking over. And so that's what she's going off of. But in reality, she going to want them days off. And all the court wants to see. Most judges just want to see two parents come together, figure it out, and all that the judge has to do is say, I agree to this. That's all the judge wants. The judge don't want to hear all the arguing and the bickering, and so he does this. He be having a whole bunch of girls at the house. She be over here and they be doing this in front of my children. The judge don't want to hear that. The judge want to hear two parents loving their kids, figuring out what is best for their kids. And right now, with the two women, they don't look like it's going what's best for the kids. So you talk as a man and give what's best for the kids. So give the judge what the judge wants. So then when he's looking at the women, he's like, what? And like, yeah. And you keep making sure you stay around your kids, talk to your kids, video chat your kids, do all that. And every time she denies you, you take notes of everything that she's denying you, why she said she denied you, record it, do all that. It builds you a case. So then it won't be like, oh, the kids won't. The kids got to get to know you. No, you don't have to worry about that because you was always constantly in the kids' life. So the kids know you. They don't have to get to know you. You already know them. You got pictures. You got everything. And your lawyer needs to fight. That's what it is. But who cares what your wife is doing, what your baby mama do? Let them do it. And if they lie, the traps will fall into place.
That's the trap vision
because there you go. There you go. It's the trap vision right there on you. There you go. I'm just saying that's just what it is. Like we do too much trying to add or trying to fight when there's no reason to fight. You know, the biggest thing to wear your component out is when they swing at you and they miss. Not when swing and they contact you. When they swing at you and they miss, burns waste more energy than if they land a hit. So if they swing it and miss it, they're going to get worn out. Well, you just, once you hit, you land. It's your head bunch. It's an uppercut. It's the right hand. It's the left hook.
Yeah.
You got it.
Well, Trap, he said, I know someone that's going through something similar, and it's draining from all the drama.
Ooh, it is.
Well, Tay, she said, tell the story again.
Okay, so the story is this man is trying to get custody to see his kids with his baby mama. But his ex-wife is now with the baby mama. They together, girl. They having a relationship. And the ex-wife can't have no kids. So she really putting all her energy to make sure he don't have nothing on. So them two women are trying to go against him and he feeling weak. He feeling like he about to get beat up. Like, you know, King Kong came in there. That's what he feeling like. And we're just trying to pump him up to let him know that you can still fight, stay focused. The fight is in. Boom.
All right, Trap said if he finds a good liberal lawyer, he'll be just fine.
Yeah.
All right. Tay said many married women feel like single mothers.
Yes, we do. Because we got to go through the same thing. The only difference is we do have a husband that comes home, but it doesn't take the light of the load off. I know a lot of women, you be like, Well, you're married. You're married. Okay, I'm married with one income. So just like you single with one income, I'm married with one income. And just like you take your baby to daycare, I am the daycare. You know what I mean? My husband's at work. I'm at home with the child. So we can battle the thing, but in reality, you can't take away the way I'm feeling. I didn't have help from Chris when my oldest was younger because he worked so many hours to make sure we was above float and that we had stuff to provide. So, me taking a break in there, I didn't. Wherever I did, my son went with me everywhere. Everywhere I went, he was there. He was glued to me. And I didn't have daycare because could you imagine us getting daycare? And they wouldn't have gave us daycare, welfare wouldn't have gave us daycare because I wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. So, getting those daycare funds that help pay for your daycare, it wasn't there. So I was always with the kids. And I didn't get a break from the kids. And I think that's where I think sometimes there's a difference because you can't be a housewife being a single parent because you got the kids and welfare don't pay enough for you to be a housewife on. So I think on both parties it can be a tough job, because you're there by yourself dealing with the kids by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not taking it away from those single mamas either
Yeah.
because that's hard. You finally get home and take a break and you got to be with the kids. You don't get no help. So either way it goes, it's still a lot of work. But, I just think these two women right here are personally trying to take an attack. But understand that they might not make it together. Right now, when people fail to realize, sometimes what keeps people together is drama.
Yep.
And when that drama is done and over with and nobody cares anymore, that's when the drama flops. And then they realize, I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
And then that woman be like, I did all this fighting for him not to have custody of these kids. And now I'm out here by myself with these kids. Girl, you got a baby daddy that wants some custody time with these kids. Let him have some time with these kids. You need a break. And it doesn't make you a bad parent from wanting to break. Go with your daddy. Go your daddy. See you later. Thank you. Make sure they got to take this medicine. They got an ear infection. Remember I called you? They got it's at 5. They take it at 6 in the morning and they take it at 6 at night. Okay, that's all. If you need anything, call. Just text it. You ain't even got to call me. Just text it. Those are good moments and feelings that you get to have. Why are women fighting because they want to be mean to the baby daddy? Like, that is not where you should be fighting. You know what I mean? If the man is abusing the kids and you got some concerns, that's a whole different conversation. Yeah. But if you just don't want the man to have the kids because you mad at him and he did you wrong and he dogged you and he cheated on you and he did all this crazy stuff, that's you. All you're doing is hurting the child at the end of the day. You are not thinking about your child. You're thinking more about yourself than the child. And that's all you need to prove to the judge.
Well, Tay said, my mom helped me so much with daycare. God bless her.
Amen.
She said, so true. And she said, for real, I'll ship them out so quick.
I be like, let me. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I think sometimes as women, we beat ourselves up if we feel too happy to be without our kids. But it's not. Like, you need a break sometimes so you can have that mental mind to be a great mother to your child or to be a great dad to your child. You need a break. And I don't think a man should be able to just have all the breaks. Like, I think he need to be just as busy. We so busy wanting child support. Shoot, I'm going to tell you right now, I'd rather have him come and get the child more than I want child support. Now, the only time I need something like, oh, we need diapers. Okay, I'm drained. I ain't got no money for diapers. You kicking, we're still married, but we're separated. That is a good, healthy relationship. I don't need child support. If you got the child just as much as I got the child, I don't need child support. I really don't. Mm-hmm. And then if I need something, you help them. We got school clothes. I'm going to buy such and such. So what you going to buy? It's easier, but I think women make it hard fighting it. And that's what you got to just show to the judge. I'm doing this. I buy this for my children. I do this and this and that. Like, you explain it to the judge because the judge isn't going to pick who the better parent is. And you might have to go to court and fight that judge, right? Because you didn't have enough information. That's why I say collect all your data. Mm-hmm. and get a good judge that will fight.
Well, I think with this situation, it's definitely a crazy situation.
No, what was
in
crazy
general.
is that my ex-wife is with
Yeah.
my baby mama. That's the crazy
That's what
part.
I'm saying. This is a crazy
Child
situation.
support is. I mean, custody and child support, yeah, but that was just to me. What, like, my ex-husband with my baby daddy don't make sense to me.
Yeah, but it's times have changed at a different time.
It has. It doesn't mean it comprehends in my brain. Because I ain't got to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen to somebody else deal with it is totally different than when you got to deal with it.
And I can imagine him in this situation, all the emotions that is rushing. So it is good that you do bolster that. Like, all right, understand that you still do have a battle that you can really fight. This is not something you're just going to default to losing. Focus on what you need to, and it's easier said than done, especially when you got this, because he could be stressing this on a personal level. Like, these are both people who know you, know the weak spots and vulnerabilities, and that's something that nobody wants to do. You got two people that can use probably the craziest stuff against you, and so of course you're not going to be thinking straight or anything in this situation, and you're going to think, oh snap! I'm done for. So Tay said the judge will typically give it to the mother, but if evidence is shown she's unfit, it will go to the other parent.
Yeah. Or if you try to do joint custody, I'm always fighting for joint custody. I just always believe both parties should have joint custody. I say build that up in the beginning, especially if you're not married. The moment those kids are born, go and get joint custody while you guys are happy. So then you don't have to worry about nothing. Because literally, I just have a problem with the judge just typically giving it to the woman automatically off the bat. I really do. I think it's inconsiderate. I think it's wrong. And I think we're pushing out a dynamic of thinking mothers are better than dads. I just think that's horrible, because there's some mothers just not good. They look good on the surface, but they ain't good behind closed doors. You know what I mean? But the judge automatically want to give it to the women. And I think if we doing custody, I think it should be the judge needs to really spend time on figuring out who is best for the child, not because she gave birth.
Mm-hmm.
No. Because have you seen these women out here today with these kids? Hey, come on. Let's just talk about it. Come on. Have you seen them? They don't even want the kids to go to school. They don't want to dress their kids. They don't want to do the kids' hair. They don't want to do nothing for these kids. Even when they take them to the park, they're on their phone. They'd rather be on their phone than spend time with these kids. Like, literally, look at what these parents are. And these are the mothers. It be the dads that be wanting to spend time with them. They're doing all these things with them. And we just sit there because she gave birth to them, just give the kids to the mama. I think that's just like so mean to the fathers. And then, but if the father go get an abortion, then it's like, oh my God, how dare you tell a woman to get an abortion? Because I don't have no rights. The judge is going to pick your side, so and so. Everybody, so I don't have no rights. So the only rights I have is I don't want you to have my sperm. I mean, that's the best way to say it. And so when some men say that, I do understand their plight on it, because literally you're not really taking the time to consider the kids if you're just automatically going to give it to the woman. You're not, it's not about the kids then. And that's what I would have my lawyer bring in the forefront of the conversation. Like, I need you to be open-minded, however they would say it in their legalities. But I need you to be open-minded to understand that this is a party that I need you to choose from mother to father who should have the kid, who is giving the best for the child. That's it. If you're not giving them joint, then who's doing the best for the child at this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, we got to get into it. We got somebody enjoying retirement. We have Shantirement.
Hey, Shantirement, how are you?
Hi, everyone. It's been a minute. Happy to see you guys. All right, nice to see you. you. Travision said it all started with a lack of condom.
Mm-hmm.
Two people get it in without really knowing each other. And Shantirement said, it bothers me to see mom with pants, long sleeve, and the kid would have shorts. and a t-shirt. It's when it's chilly outside.
Ain't that the truth? I hate to see that the mama's hair is looking really good and the child's hair is looking a hot mess. That bothers me. Like, your hair should be looking like a hot mess and the child's hair looking good. If somebody's hair gonna be messy, it should be yours. The child should be looking good the whole time. Don't give that child that, and I can go on and on about some kids. Sorry. Let's go. I get mad. We don't went off of the whole conversation, and I'll be right there. Because I have problems with, parents and stuff. Like, take the time to spend with your child. Because they grow up so fast. You be like, where did this time go? Why is the child mad at me? What's this? A lot of times it's because you weren't there. Now, for the ones that are there, hey, the child got emotional issues. They just do. But, yeah.
Okay. So we know we are shifting economically right now,
Okay.
Lots of people, they feel like things are happening. Things are either going to go up or under. And, we got a lot of political stuff going on here in America. So they think, all right, well, if we get this person in office, we might have a better economy. We get this person in office, it might not be. With that being said, everything is so up in the air. This is causing some stress and panic within this relationship. So they need some advice here. All right. So we've got a married couple, both previously been married. So they both have an ex-wife and an ex-husband. And now they have found happiness through each other. And as they have had these last relationships, one of these things that they've both brought in from past relationships is debt. She had a little bit of debt with her last person. He had a little bit of debt. And they've been, getting to it, knocking it down as they're supposed to, but it's still present. All right. And so one thing that's been going on is this whole everything being up in the air. So the husband's mindset is like, all right, we need to have as little small bill as possible. Like, let's get this house paid off. Let's get this car paid off. Let's start owning some of our own assets, because if we're not going to be able to make the money that we need to make, I don't want to have to worry about at least a car and a home.
Yeah.
So that's his mentality. She's more so like, okay, I'm fine with that. But also now he's going from being a little bit more available to putting in more overtime and all this different stuff. And so, of course, putting in the overtime, he's more tired, more stress, more everything like that, because his mindset right now is work, and get this stuff paid off. That's where his objective is at. And so she's starting to feel like, all right, he is resenting me. He's starting to, just be hateful towards me. There's some kind of hatred. And she's feeling at this stage, he's doing all this stuff. He's thinking about everything but me. I think he's starting to hate me. And so they're having this issue where he's like, I don't know how you don't see what I'm seeing. I'm just trying to get this. And she's like, well, you're not seeing me. And they're having this whole relationship issue right now. What would you recommend for them in this situation?
I think we said it earlier. Communication. She's feeling one way because his mind is focused.
Yeah.
And when a man, to me, my opinion only, stating it clear, my opinion only, men, when they're focused, they're straight focused. And it's hard to deter them from their focus. They're not looking at anything else. They ain't looking for playtime. I'm talking about the spending the money. He ain't looking for playtime. He ain't looking at anything. It's just focus on, let's pay these bills. How we can make money to pay the bills. Let's do this. Let's just get this stuff done and over with. So it's the least thing on his mind. He won't be stressed about it no more because it's no longer there. He's trying to eliminate the problem at the core.
Yeah.
Where as a woman, she's like, we can eliminate it, but we still can, go on date night. We still can buy each other little trinkets, and we still can, have, instead of having top ramen every night, have a nice romantic dinner and with the candles and the champagne and the chocolate strawberries and, the chocolate and chicken wings. We can still have those things and still be on budget. And He's like, no, we not doing nothing.
Yeah.
If it ain't called free, we ain't
Yeah.
doing it. So if it ain't in our budget of groceries, then you only getting $75 a week for groceries. Better figure it out. $75 a week. If you can't make that fancy meal with the $75 a week of groceries, we just ain't having a fancy meal. Now you're gonna get the top ramen. You better add some vegetables in it and call it romaine noodles and call it we done ate us a nice Korean meal. Okay, like we done fancied it up today, and that's just what you better take a Crystal Light packet and jazz it up with 3 different flavors of Crystal Light, and that's our tropical storm drink that is free, and we losing weight at the same time. Like that's where the man's mind is just straight focused. There's no deterrent from the line when he is truly focused. When women are truly focused, we still give us leeway to have a little freedom. Why should we be miserable? I'm working all these hours to get this extra money. I should be able to give myself a little reward every now and then. That's how us women usually think. I'm not saying all women and I'm not saying all men. I don't want to hear about that. I'm just giving you my gist of what I see is going on. So, reason I say communication is that because he needs to explain to her his true feelings about how the debt is making him feel, how it's too much for him to handle, and it's stressing him out. And he needs to be able, but he needs to figure it out to be able to speak his mind to say it.
Yeah.
And the woman needs to be like, well, I just want to feel loved. I want to feel tender and all this. Then get some baby oil. I'll give you a massage. Call it a day. You should feel tender. I'll put a candle on in the bathroom. There's things you can do that doesn't cost any money that we just don't think about because we have it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I just think that's where the communication needs to be really listened to. Not, I need to give you an advice for it.
Mm-hmm.
You listening to how he feels. He listens to how you feel. Y'all leave it alone for a minute so y'all can have a day or two to think about how your husband feels, how your wife feels. Then you come back together with a solution that both of y'all can agree on. And y'all both might have great ideas to make both of y'all happy at that moment. But you need to tell each other how each other feel and then separate from that conversation so y'all can literally think about it.
Well, Trav, he's chiming in. He said, in some households, financial forecasting and responsibility just wasn't taught.
That's true.
So it's easy for frustration to ensue.
Yes.
He said, I recommend that any couple take a financial literacy class.
That's true. And they usually do a lot of those in churches. I know I took one in church. It didn't do me no good. I probably need to go like 10 more times.
Well,
no, it is.
Yeah, at least
because it is. I'm telling you, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But it is true. It is something that it would be a great class for both parties to go to.
Yeah.
So they both get the same information. Now they're gonna get the different outcomes
and take different things.
Yeah, out. But then every time they have a class, y'all need to go back to the class. Like literally take the class and embrace it fully.
And that's what Trap said. Yeah, sometimes even local churches offer it for free.
Yeah.
I feel like even what you're saying here is definitely, again, starts with the communication, but it's the divide. He's on one track. And of course, I'm going to say this on a personal level. When, as a man, when you feel like, all right, we got this goal, we are racing towards that goal. We are trying to get to that goal by any means. Now, once that goal is met, all right, we cool. Maybe we got a little bit of time to fool around or whatever. But when you really set yourself and set your intentions, we are running for it. That's just what it is. And man can change in just a day. Not all of a sudden he's really driven towards whatever it is. You will see the change. It will just happen. Whereas you could say, like, even a woman in this same state, she's going to, again, like Queen Lenora said, give herself a little bit of more room. Like, all right, I understand. Okay, I could burn out. I don't want to burn out. I want to continue. Whereas men's not necessarily thinking that. They're going to run it till they can't run it no more. They might get sick. They might be dying. They still going to try to run towards whatever it is. We're going to try to get it done. Like, that's just what it is. And so you're fighting two different mentalities and fighting two different approaches. And what she just want to understand, all right, yes, you are working. I just want a little bit of that time for myself. I just want my piece of the pie. We are married after all. And he's like, all right, I'm just trying to get this done because there's so many what ifs. If we can get as many what ifs down and be more secure. That's all I want. Then we can be happy. We can start that saving. We can have all this time after we get this done. And so again, it's that idea of clashing. And I think especially when you're doing it and when you're going and you're in that mode, for him, he's not going to be able to communicate the way that you want to hear it. He's just not, because he's not even thinking about that. He's not even trying to take that little time to put that aside, because right now he's focused on his goal. Shoot, him having that conversation right now is taking his time that he needs to go to sleep. So he's ready. He's like, all right, I'm not trying to have this conversation right now. You saying whatever you saying. That's 30 minutes less time I'm getting to sleep, and I got to wake up and get back into the same routine. So it's just hit the thoughtfulness on both ends. I mean, despite the fact that we are trying to shift and we're trying to set everything, set a future and build a future. You can build a future, but who are you building with? Yeah. Because you don't want to lose your partner trying to build something together. And that's really what the important part is. And again, when it comes to the women, it's like, all right, understand he is trying to build for you guys. At the end of the day, you might not feel like this is a direct benefit or anything to you right now, but in the future, or in what he sees right now, is that you guys will be in a more comfortable spot and you guys will have just less tension overall. And all he's trying to do is reach for that comfort and that ease in life. And so again, it just really takes time to understand each other's perspective, understand each other's side of things, because you can get caught up in your own. You can get caught up in your own really fast. It's really easy to do that, but you got to take time and appreciate what you have. You don't want your partner to now be miserable just because of this. And again, there's some more communication, even probably before time, because I'm sure he was saying it, but she wasn't thinking nothing of it. And then now he just picked up and was like, all right, now he's going. Or he didn't communicate it. He's only slightly said a couple things. Oh, I'm going to be picking up a little bit more work. All this stuff is going on. I know you see the politics. I just need to, go to work. So didn't really say too much or say enough. And now he's just made this big shift. Yeah. And she over like, oh, snap, what's going on? And then depending on now if he's, less emotionally available and all this, now you could think, or do you have, you're just looking at somebody else. There's all these different things that can come into play. So when you are doing stuff like this, you do have to communicate. And I know in a man's perspective, a man is just trying to tackle whatever it is, just trying to get it done. So you might be thinking, oh, he's cheating. Oh, he's trying to do this. Oh, he's in a whole different mind state, but because it's not being communicated, it's not being talked about, and all you're feeling is the neglect, that's all you can see is like, oh, he must be trying to give this time to somebody else. Or, he's phasing me out looking for somebody else. So it's all about really the communication in this aspect. And again, one thing that's been going on, even I say somewhat throughout all of these, is really just the mindfulness. Think about the other person's perspective. We always think in ourselves and like, oh, how things are affecting us and stuff like that. But when you think on a greater scale, think outside of yourself, it's a changing process. The stuff that you can do affects whoever. And when you have your partner, that's going to be the person who's affecting the most. You got the people within the household, your partner, your kids. Those are the people that's going to affect the most. So when you are doing these different shifts and changes, you got to keep that in your mind as well. But Shane Tyman said, you have to make time for one another, regardless of a financial issue. Togetherness is just important. It can take years to pay off debt. Life is short. Live life.
And that's the thing, and that's where both parties need to really take the time to really listen to each other and understand each other before they go on this adventure. And as women, we are usually more vocal. Yeah. But there are some women that are not. But we're usually more vocal and express what we want. Where a man is very tunnel vision, so they say it in cryptic language, only they understand. And it doesn't come clear to us at all. And we have to understand, just because we're both human, men think totally different than women, and women think totally different than men. We all think different from each other, but they really women understand and agree with women, and men understand men and agree with them because that's the language they speak.
Exactly.
So I think that's something that we always want to keep in mind when we're having these conversations, especially something like that. when you want to save, you want to save, but you can still have fun doing stuff cheaper.
Mhm.
If you give her a budget and she stays within that budget each week,
Yeah.
and if she can make it happen, let her make it happen, Captain.
But it starts with again, like you're saying, that
Communication,
communication. You
yeah.
gotta talk to each other about this whole situation, and then we can work that stuff out. Because again, all of them, I feel like a man wants in this position, especially somebody who's really focusing and trying to, hanker down on stuff like this. He's just trying to provide the best for his family. That's what he's trying to do for you, for y'all kids, whatever. But that can, that has its cost too. So, understanding that and working within, like what Queen Nora says, all right, let's work out a budget. Okay, maybe, on this day we can spend a little bit more extra time. There's different, like Trav Vision said, those healthy compromises that can start to be had once y'all actually able to tackle what initially is going on here. Because something like this is a common thing. A lot of people feel neglected or whatever it may be, even with what Queen Nora saying, feeling like, all right, you got the pressure of the kids or whatever on you, but even though you do have a partner, there's different mentalities and different things that, depending on the situation that you may feel. But the only way to really get over something is to communicate to it. And it doesn't mean it's going to be like an instant fix. He still got to do what he got to do at the end of the day, or things have to be done and provided for. So that's not ever going to stop. But it's just, hey, let's take this time and communicate. So it's an easier process. It's smoother overall. You're not feeling unhappy. I'm not feeling unhappy. Or even if you're feeling unhappy, you're a little bit less, all over the place and scatterbrained about it. Now you have a little bit more idea on what the goal is and what the vision is, and just getting on the same page. The one thing Queen Lenora says a lot is you want to be like this. Well, when you got something like this going on, it's just bringing y'all further and further apart. So even if it's the small little bit of communication, it's the little bits of conversation where y'all are learning to understand each other during this time. Yes, it's stressful, but we still have each other during this time. Like Shantara is saying, stuff like that that's going to be there. But also you got a life to live, so just thinking about stuff like that, having conversations like that slowly will bring you back on the speed that you need to be on.
And when you talk about communication, I'm very adamant on communication. But when you're talking about communication, you have to really listen.
Mm-hmm.
Hear and try to truly understand what the person is saying. You might not agree with what the person is saying. It might not be something you done thought about it, you done contemplated on it, and it just is not what you agree. But at least you could say, I listen, I try to understand your point of view. It's still confusing because it's not clicking to me. It's not giving me what I need to understand your point of view, but I hear what you're saying and I can try to contribute the best way I can to what you're saying. But as it being something that I completely understand, it's not that. And the reason I say that is because understanding what somebody's saying is usually where the change comes.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't understand what somebody says, the change is not going to come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could tell me and I can go, okay, I agree. But then they're not going to change their habits because it's not something that they feel they agree with. They don't agree with it. So a lot of times we say stuff and we expect that person to change, but they're not understanding. They're not comprehending. And it could be the way you're saying it. It could be you could be off by one word to change the dynamic of what somebody is saying. So that's why I always say you really want to make sure you try to listen and understand in a capacity to go, I don't think that's what they're trying to say. I think you're trying to say blase, blase. And then try to say, are you trying to say blase, blase, blase? And they're going to go, yeah, that's what I said. Oh, okay, because I wasn't getting that. And then you can then say, okay, this is what it is. Because communication, a lot of people think it's just talking. It's not. You can talk all day long. Why are you not in the camera? You can talk all day long if you want to, but it does not mean anything if that person doesn't understand or comprehend anything that you're saying. So then they're just telling you yes to get you to shut up. And then when nothing happens, you're mad. And then you go, well, you're a liar because you said you were going to do it. I didn't say anything. I just said yes. Like, because I didn't want to hear your mouth no more. So you want to take that when somebody's talking to really listen. And it takes both parties. If you cut somebody off, if you stop that other person from talking, then they're no longer going to listen to what you're saying. So you can say whatever you want, but now that you keep cutting them off, they no longer are listening because they don't feel they're being heard by their point of the conversation. So you did all that cutting me off, just told me to shut down. I'm not listening anymore. So then when I don't listen, then you're mad, but you weren't listening to me. So you started off not listening to me by interrupting me at every chance that you get. So I'm not no longer listening to you. So nothing you said is now penetrating. And you want that. When you're talking or you're having a conversation, an argument, you want some changes, you have to be able to listen both ways, even if you don't agree with it. And you don't have to agree with it, but you shutting somebody down makes them feel like what they got to say is not important anymore. And the only thing that matters is what you say. But then if they don't respond to you, then you're mad because they didn't respond to you. So I say that because I realize communication is really one of those things that it's hard. And I don't think nobody knows how to communicate correctly. And so I think that's where a lot of confusion comes in because nobody's communicating correctly.
Yeah.
And I think,
and there's different ways that people are receptible to stuff too. Just like Queen Lenora said, you can say something just off pitch, off key, and all of a sudden you didn't really said nothing because now the person's not in the mentality to take in what you're saying. Because nobody wants to feel attacked or anything like that when they're having a conversation. And one thing, just as humans, we naturally try to take ourselves out of uncomfortable situations. Think about it. You cold at night, what you gonna do? You gonna get a blanket. You're gonna try to make yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
It goes the same thing on this level here. Like, oh, you saying stuff to me, or you have switched and trying to, instead of being productive, now you're attacking. Oh, now I'm gonna protect myself in this situation. I'm just not gonna hear it. I'm phasing it out. Whatever you're saying is just nothing. Like your mouth is moving, you're saying nothing. Yeah. One ear out the other. And I think that's one thing you have to really think about when it comes in the era of communication, is really just like, all right, I could say so many different things and I can say them in so many different ways, but what's the best way that this is going to work for Queen Lenora? And even being in tune with the process to where it's like, all right, I understand what you're saying, but this is what I'm trying to say. Or I might not be saying this the right way, but what I want you to understand is whatever. And like, it just depends on the person too. There's so many different things that you can shift and, really accommodate and make sure that the person understands. Because like Queen Lenora said, somebody, they might just be saying, because they tired of hearing you, or you coming at them a way where they just want it to just be done. Like, just leave me alone about it. Like, you coming at me, you already on a bad foot. I'm not even trying to have a bad day today, but you done came with this energy. Just be quiet. Let's leave this alone. Let's turn the page. You can't, it just doesn't work like that. Then when the changes are felt and everything like that, then it's always an issue because everything's going to continue to blow up. And so even within this situation, we already got tensions high. He's working, she's feeling neglected. You want to really make sure that even on the way of communication, he's not taking it no type of way that you feeling like, now is he not supposed to work? I mean, that's kind of some of the stuff that automatically just comes to the guy's mind. It's like, oh, you don't want me to work. Oh, you don't want, but if I don't provide, then so there's always that kind of mentality coming. And then on her end, you got to be sensitive to the fact that this is something that she's looking for. You can't just be dismissive of this because it is something that holds weight. Now you want to, you're talking about it like it's nothing. Now, again, are you talking to somebody else? Do you want to give that energy to, or am I not worth this to you anymore? Or, have you fallen out of love? Like, there's so much stuff that so many minds that you can accidentally just slip on and activate when you're not really thinking about how you communicate towards somebody.
Yeah.
So I just think that, like what Queen Lenora said, is, you can say communication left and right, but it's also how you communicate. Are you listening, actively listening? Are you, trying to really look for a solution, or you just arguing at something until it just won't work anymore. You know, like we just fighting button heads until we both just get tired and give up. So, you know, there's different ways to really handle it, I feel. Were you trying to say something, Queen?
You can do what you do. I'll say mine in a minute.
Well, getting into the chat, yeah, we got him, Trap Vision. He said that's where the communication and compromise comes in.
That's true.
Shantana said you have to make time for one another regardless of the financial situation. Oh, we got to that one. Shantana said a lot of times neither one knows what each other's feeling or is feeling that way. And like Queen says, it's communication.
Mm-hmm.
We got to welcome somebody in. We got Sleazy. Sleazy in the building.
Hey, Sleazy.
Welcome
How
in,
you doing,
Sleazy
sis?
said Queen, your favorite nephew.
Yeah.
They're driving, y'all. Shout out to my people.
Shout out.
What's good? How you doing? What's going on, Sleazy?
How you doing?
All right, Sleazy in the piece. Nice to have you.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, what were you trying to say, Queen?
I just want to, the dynamics of communication, because a lot of stuff, like the questions that we get or the questions that we find or anything like that, I realize that people do not know, they don't communicate.
Yeah.
Things that I say you should watch out for that I learned when I went to marriage counseling some years ago is nothing negative. So you don't call your partner a name. You don't disrespect your partner. You come very humble to your partner, because that's your safe zone. So you should come humble. If you feel weak in a conversation, like, oh, this person is going to be dynamic in this conversation, and I'm going to feel less than, that's something you need to work in within yourself. That has nothing to do with your partner. That's something that you have to work in within yourself, because a lot of times we put ourselves in a protective mode, which now is coming out very harmful to our partner. And at the end of the day, you don't want nobody else disrespecting your partner, coming at your partner a certain way, so you shouldn't come at your partner that way. That's one place your partner should feel safe, is at home with you. So when you communicate, think about those things, because if your partner said half the stuff that you say to them, would you be okay? I need you to be in the camera.
Oh, there you go.
Would you be okay? Like, that's something that is really important in that conversation with your partner, is that I'm not going to put you down. I'm not going to talk about you. I want to hear what you have to say, so I will listen and be quiet. And then I need you to hear and understand me. And I'm going to say it in a loving way, because guess what? I love you. And a lot of times we don't want to take that breath to breathe, to have those type of conversations, because we don't want to feel that vulnerable with our partners and stuff like that. And I'm like, if you can't feel vulnerable with your partner, you can't feel safe with your partner, and you got to attack your partner, then how did this person become your partner? Because you should be able to be vulnerable. You should be able to say the craziest things to your partner without putting them down. Like, okay, I want Scooby snacks with pickles on top of it with the such and such. And your partner be like, okay, you crazy, but let me go ahead and get this snack for her. It's just something that, I need you to scratch my butt. Okay, I wouldn't do this for anybody, but I love you. That your partner should feel that comfortable to say anything off the wall with you, and it's not going to be a problem. They might roll their eyes and be like, what is wrong with this person? But that's about it. It shouldn't be, you retarded, you ain't got no sense, you this, you that. It shouldn't have all that to it, because you should be your partner's safe zone. And I think once people get that concept, then I think the whole roundabout communication will come in to play the correct way.
Yeah.
I think we say communication all the time, but it's not a safe zone for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember I would tell Chris, it's hard for me to express my feelings because you get so mad so quick. It's hard for me to talk to you. And so I'm suppressing how I feel, and I don't like that. That was I'm giving it to you now, because if I blow up, I kind of prepared you before, because I'm telling you, I don't like it. I should be able to express how I feel, the way I feel it, if I'm not tearing you down, if I'm not disrespecting you, if I'm not doing anything that's in a negative towards you, and I'm just telling you how I feel. It might hurt your feelings because you probably thought you would be the best man in the world, and I'm feeling neglected over here. But I'm not really putting you down. I'm just telling you how I feel. You have a choice then to accept how I feel, and it goes both ways.
Mhm.
And that's why I said I want communication to be understood that you cannot communicate correctly if it's not a safe zone for you to communicate.
Mhm.
So if you go, well, my partner's not communicating with me, and I've been saying this, and I've been doing this, and they just agree, and then you should check yourself. Is it a safe zone for them to communicate? Are you allowing your partner to talk without you interrupting? Are you allowing your partner to have its own emotion and feeling, regardless if you agree with the person's emotion and feeling? Are you allowing that? I'm saying that because I think we don't understand communication, and we just think communication is talking,
Mhm.
and it's so much more. I
And-
just felt like I had to say that part.
Well, and that's true because I mean, you could talk. We talking right now. I mean, we've been talking for an hour and 30 minutes. So you could talk, you can say anything to anybody, but again, it comes to where it's like, all right, is it going to be able to penetrate? And like what Queen Nora says, if you do have a partnership, you are working with anybody, even if that's a small minded level to, of course, your partner, someone you need to confide in and tell your deepest, darkest secrets, whatever it may be. How is this? What is this being set up to? Like, is everything comfortable? Because the comfort then allows us to be vulnerable and it allows us to say how we feel. Like what Queen Lenora said, she had, yes, he's seen Trap Vision Karma. We're gonna get to that in just a second, but you do want to be able to feel safe. You want your partner to be a safe zone at the end of the day. And one thing that will again hinder communication is when things are weaponized. That's one thing that will shut people down. Again, we talked about when somebody's going to have an attitude when somebody's saying something or knock the expression, whatever it may be. Are you being that person in the relationship? Are you doing it? Like, you got to check yourself. Is your partner doing it? Why might they be doing it? You want to kind of get to the bottom of these things before y'all can even really try to angle your communication in a good way. And even with the healthy communication, it starts by just making that choice every day. Like, all right, like Queen Lenora said, take that breath. A lot of people don't take that breath. You might need to just take that breath, or just think before you speak. Oh, I could say you didn't do you left something a mess, but let me really think about it. It's gonna really make I did the today, but I just want to let you know, something going on. Is everything all right? Because you didn't do it today. Did you forget or did you admit? Just the approach is different for whoever, but just be mindful about your approach. But what Trap said is he spin facts right here. He said you should
not
fart in the cover and hold your partner's head underneath the cover to inhale the fragrance.
No, we don't want to inhale the fragrance. No,
that's something I believe in on a personal level. I'm gonna say that I believe that one full-heartedly on a personal
We're
level.
not. Know what? I bet you all the men agree on that one.
And Trap, I hope you practice on what you preaching over
there. Don't be doing that to my girl. Don't be doing that to my girl, Trap. Don't be doing that to her, Trap.
Trap, you said gotta take the grandbaby home. I'll catch y'all later.
Okay, bye.
Take care of Trap.
Don't be doing that to my girl.
Oh man, so yeah.
That's one thing we do be fighting over here, right? No, we are not agreeing to that conversation. So we're gonna veto that one.
But yeah, just in general with the conversation of communication. Again, you come into somebody heated, it's already gonna be tense.
Yeah.
You come into somebody with animosity, all right, here we are. But if you come on with even a neutral playing field, like let's not even come with let's take all the negative stuff out. We come in with the neutral stance. Even that can be swayed in some way. So when you lead in with a positive note or a loving note, it makes it hard for that person to come at you on a foul note. And if they are, then that just makes sure that they are really in the wrong with whatever's going on. Because if you start to say, you know what, you could say whatever. You could say it could be a big situation. You could say it with, the most love. and the most understanding or whatever it may be, and they hear it coming and still find a way to make an issue, you could, if you continue that up and everything like that, and at the end of the conversation, even if it don't necessarily go the way that you planned, they're gonna have to think about it and like, oh snap, I just went off on them and they were just trying to be nice about it. 'Cause usually they say it this way, but today they said it this way, and here I was just being rude about it. Like, it's stuff like that, and again, when you set the playing field, you setting a peaceful area of serenity, a Zen garden? Are you over here on the battlefield? Like, where is this all taking place? What's the background of the conversation? If we at war, or are we at a peace treaty? What's going on? But what you gotta say, Queen Nora?
I agree with you. There's nothing else to say. I just wanted to get that because we always talk about communication, and I think sometimes we just think it's talking, and I just wanted to clarify that it's not. And what Elijah is saying is so correct. I'm not gonna say Zen garden conversation, but I mean, you want to be at a peaceful conversation where, okay, I know this person is looking out for my best. You know what I mean? But sometimes we don't think like that, and I think that's something that we lose track of. And you don't want to lose track of that because your relationship with your partner is so important and it's so dynamic and it's so great. And if you take your relationship for granted, don't get mad when the relationship flops.
Yeah.
Because you can't take your relationship for granted. So if you do take it for granted, understand your relationship will flop for taking it for granted. If I know that Joe just loves me and I can do whatever and Joe just loves me, understand one day Joe's not going to treat you the way you used to, and Joe going to hurt your feelings really bad. It's going to be one way or another. He going to hurt you and you're going to be like, what happened? And that's going to be like somebody put a gun to you and just shot you, because that's just what it is. And you don't want that feeling. You know what I mean? You don't want to feel that way. You want to always feel loved. And so does your partner. Just like you want to feel loved, your partner wants to always feel loved. So, and I know it has to be something big because so many people are doing relationships and communication topics, and they're doing so much out there in the real world that, are you guys not listening? That's where it comes to, is because you're just hoping that it's going to be what it is because you said so. And what you say doesn't mean anything. And when your relationship dies, it just dies. And of course, it's going to be easy for you to always point the blame on your partner instead of ever taking the blame for what you have done. And so that's something you want to be able to make sure you don't do, because your relationship is awesome. It's amazing when you get to say, I got married and I love my husband and I love my wife. That is a blessing and that is a gift. So cherish it.
Absolutely. And we're going to reel it in with this last person here. We got to welcome in MLW Fisherman. MLW's in here. Say hello, love.
Hey, MLW.
Hello,
how are you?
We've had some really good conversations today just about relationships. We had some crazy stuff going on with the baby mama, ex-wife drama. That was crazy. That was a wild situation. But, regardless of everything, I think one of the main things that we were even speaking on, again, with this communication that we just were on, but also the mindfulness, take some time and think about somebody other than yourself. Take some time to really put some focus on your partner. Think about the perspective. Think about some of the stuff that they're going through, because a lot of these situations really boil down to like, if I would have just checked in or just took, observe whatever my partner's going through, we wouldn't even be at this point. Exactly. And so, through communication and again, that mindfulness, we can be stepping closer to success. Yeah. MLW saying doing very good.
That's glad good to hear. Good to hear.
All right, but we about to go ahead and close out by saying.
But before we do that, I just want to apologize to everybody. We did come on an hour later today. Yes. But we had to take care of some personal things.
Had to handle some business.
And then Monday we didn't come on at all. But that was because Eli was fixing the computer. So we got our computer back. My baby is back in his life. He did a great job on fixing my baby. It looks really great. You wouldn't even be able to tell that we had to replace anything. So that's why we weren't here on Monday. So I just wanted to give you guys that info and keep you guys updated. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging like they ain't even going to talk about Monday.
Mhm.
No, we didn't make it on Monday. We apologize for that. And we barely made it today, but we did. Yay. So I just want to give you guys that. And for the people out here, please go to, I like to, you know, I don't know nobody during the day because it's always flaky during the day, but at night seems to be more of a steady stream. So I want you guys to go to Edna's World. She is doing Wind Down Wednesday today. It's the only person I know that's on Wednesday. So go to Edna's World and do Wind Down Wednesday. They be celebrating, they be doing stuff, and you want to check her out, of course. So anything else?
No, that's it. We're going to go ahead and close out by saying, remember
to love and live each day as if it were your life.
Thank y'all for watching.
Smooches.
Y'all take care and have a good one.
Yo, L&L. L&L. Woo, woo, woo. Love and Live show. It's hot, 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 taste it hot. I'm ready. Love and Live.
Let's go.
Love and Live show. Motivation speakers. Positive affirmations. Tune in every week. We need a Monday family meeting.
Eli always cheating.
Relationship advice on Wednesday so you don't go creeping. Thursday game time. Come in and unwind. Friday night shout out time. Creators grind and shine. Pop up at the pop up. Shop up at the shop up. Get your bomb.com seasons for your potluck. Tropical morning. For your royalty. Love and Live empire bringing all the heat. It's time to turn up. It's time to turn up. You wanna taste that heat? Try to taste the heat. Hot sauce, that sweet heat is banging like this beat. Chocolate burning, love, mild watermelon. Dynamite's the truth. Have you
Favorite nephew, Lenora. She know it's the truth.
Chris? Everybody love Chris. Love and Live show.
It's the love and live show. It's the love and live show.
Love and Live.
It's the love and live.
We be laughing, having fun.
Get up and stay. Love and live. Get up and stay. Love and live.
Love and Live each day as if it was your last. Yep.
This is Love and Live shock.